So I was actually asked a very, very important question. And I think this is something that all ADA holders and frankly, all crypto holders in general need to hear. I was asked, how is ADA going to break $5? How are we going to do this if there are such large holders, if there are people that are going to be taking profit? And I think this is something that really everybody needs to understand. I'm Luckside. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. Again, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So this was a question from a frequent viewer, frequent commenter, KC Defends. Appreciate you, man. And what he said was, I recall back in March selling my ADA just under 60 cents. The question I have is, these ADA holders, whales, are in the game to make money. How much do they want to make? And what is a suitable percentage increase to sell? Do these investors believe this is going to $5 or something? And this is a fantastic question. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, ADA can't break 50 cents. Oh, we'll never get back to $1 and things like that. And there are different dynamics of the market in different times. All right. So we're right now, the early part of the bull market cycle is kind of an extension of the bear market. And why I say that is you haven't had this complete takeover of positive sentiment. You haven't had this complete takeover of new users and new capital in the space. And that's a very important thing, right? So where we're at right now is we're at basically this big opportunity phase. We're at this time where we had our early market pump, ADA ran all the way to 81 cents. And then basically demand for not just ADA, but for the crypto market kind of fell through the floor. All right. There was less buyers, less capital to go around. And then you start to see profit taking, you see bleeding. And this has been this basically 6-month process we've been in, not just in terms of ADA, but in terms of other assets as well. And now we've gotten down into this floor, this opportunity zone, this time that basically since what was that, August, since August, where we've essentially sideways traded. We've gained a little ground. We've created a little bit higher of a high, a little bit higher of lows. And that's a good thing. That's a good direction change, right? But it's been a lot of the same. It's been a lot of people accumulating, building their supply, building their bags for deeper on in this market cycle. But really what gets things going is new money entering the space. Now, this is where things get interesting, right? So we talk about whales, we talk about them wanting to take profit. There are good whales and there are bad whales. Why I say that is there are whales that at a 5% clip, 2% clip, 10% clip, whatever it may be, they're probably going to sell and take some profit. You have some other ones that are more long-term holders. You have people that have either set prices or set timeframes like me, for example. My set timeframes are I plan on taking some profit in March and then basically layering out as we get deeper into the year at what should be the height of the bull market cycle, which I've always said I believe is going to be sometime around October of 2025. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we have, blow off tops, if this becomes a super cycle, if we get into mass adoption, then things change just a little bit. But where this gets interesting is, there are periods here where whales will sell and take profit. And it's a reason why we have faced some rejection along the way, not just in terms of ADA, but in terms of other assets as well. There are large holders that will take profit down here. But what you really need is you need enough demand to outpace that profit taking. And there is a period where that happens. It's alt season. All right. The adoption rate during alt season is so incredibly high during market cycles in the past. For example, 2021, we climbed from basically 4% of the world in crypto to 5% of the world. That is what is that? 80 million new crypto holders. That's a lot of capital. It's a lot of new users. But what you need to understand is that pales in comparison to what's coming. All right, we're supposed to be over 10% of the world in crypto by the end of this market cycle. We sit at 5-6% right now. And that is, that's a lot of users, right? That's 400 million. So you're talking about 5 times the rate of what came in 2021. And that's frankly how you outpace what we're seeing right now. That's how you outpace some of these prior all-time high. That's how we break 81 cents. That's how we break $1. That's how we break $5. You have so much demand and so much capital hitting the market that it outpaces profit taking from people who have taken this opportunity to accumulate. All right. Now that may sound horrible, guys. That's the way that market growth works. We're in a market that's in its infancy right now, and it takes time for it to grow to that point. And that's why eventually we're going to get to a point where a run from, 35 cents to over $5 isn't going to be possible. Okay. We're not at that point yet. It's absolutely possible. That's why I've said this market cycle wouldn't be surprised by somewhere between $7 to $15 ADA. If we get into blow off tops, if we get into mass adoption, could make a run towards 25, who knows? But at that same time, you're going to see an entire an explosion throughout this market. We're talking, 125 to 150K BTC. Blow off tops happen, maybe pushing closer to 200. I mean, this is the biggest growth cycle we will ever experience, or not we will ever experience. This is the biggest growth cycle we will have experienced in crypto. The next one supposed to be even bigger, right? We're supposed to run to a $10 trillion global market cap of crypto by the end of this market cycle. It's supposed to be almost 100 trillion by the end of the next market cycle. Not sure if we'll hit that, but by that point, we'd be well into mass adoption. I mean, you'd see so much adoption from enterprise and governments. I mean, the space is going to be unrecognizable compared to what it is at now. Times will shift very quickly. I'm trying to think about the best way to describe that. But that's the path that we're on right now. It may be tough to visualize it at these times where we're like, oh my gosh, ADA's stuck at 35 cents, 40 cents. We're never going to break 50 cents, right? But when these things start snowballing, when it starts happening, when people start to see these types of movements again, people seem to forget the types of movements that happen during alt season when times are actually good, when we're not dealing with this negative sentiment, right? But those times are not that far away, right? Guys, if we look back at 2020, we are right. We're right here. All right. Very, very similar. Okay. When you look at it, it looks like we weren't going anywhere. It looks like times, frankly, looked like crap. We weren't going to make much headway. And then we saw what followed. Big adoption is huge for the charts, especially for assets at the top, ones that are blue chips, ones that have been around for a while, ones that are actually building for the future, like Cardano has with ADA. Appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully that answered the question. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Do you think that ADA really has a chance to break $5? But appreciate you. Have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.